conference report. I don't watch all the vegetarian debates on YouTube, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about. I certainly don't think you're dictatorial, but I think I can get into that a little bit, maybe. Not the sociological part that has to do with individuals in any particular conversation. But the general idea of should it be counted that way? Should it be counted that it's somewhat dictatorial? Because, some things, no matter how peaceful or timid even a person is, if they present them, if somebody's presenting a timid version of why there should be Stalinism, and they can use all kinds of nice benefit of the people kind of language, you could still say, well, that's dictatorial, right? So it's not impersonal. So let's get down to the meat of what I think reveals answers to these questions, the fundamental answers. Not the psychological reasons of why people react that way, as you said they do with atheists in general. I get that all the time. As a relativist especially, because I very rarely am like, you have to believe it too. No, I believe that we should all believe different things, and I don't believe everybody has to believe the absolute truth, since there isn't one. But, okay. Not pussyfooting around here, I'm get to it. No, the question is, can I ethically eat meat in any situation? And it's complicated by our current environment. Okay, so here's what I will propose for this, and to see if you want to critique it or not, and tell me why I can't have an ethical way to eat meat. I would say, or I'm going to say, industrial farming, absolute moral wrong. However, if we were to have game preserves in this country, huge ones, it becomes a motivation for keeping preserves. And actually, groups like Ducks Unlimited, they save wetlands, so they have places to go hunt ducks. But it can actually be healthy in an attitude. Now, you might not think the killing of the animal is okay because of the whole consciousness thing, but given that they don't really understand that argument, they do have a love for the wetlands. They don't want to kill the wetlands. Some hunters go out there and they just pollute and litter. I've been up there, I've seen it happen. But some hunters, they know they're in a peaceful place. They can be taking part with what's going out there, and that's what I'm going to get into. So, I personally think it would be ethical to eat meat if you had to go hunt it yourself. I put some extra limitations on that because, I think that the argument goes that you're taking part in a play of nature, but if you're going to do that, we have to use everything we know about the situation. So, there's plenty room for kinds of important regulation. Like, for example, I don't think you should allow snaring. I also think there's a bioevolutionary argument that you need to have kinds of hunting where the animals have a chance. The biological purpose of predation, not purpose, but one of the functions it ends up serving in the system analysis wise, is it culls the weak from the herd. The animal just becoming down with pneumonia is not very sick, but he's a little bit slower, and that animal may well was going to die of pneumonia, but fed coyote and its pups or whatever. Okay. So if humans are going out there with laser guns just picking off anything they see, that's not going to work. So it's like sometimes they have hunting laws that you have to hunt with a bow and arrow, or even a gun is like the animal has a chance to see you. A more alert animal, it has a better chance. It does make a difference, their own sort of skills of survival in this case. Now, I understand that to vegetarians that might sound brutal, but this is my point. I think that in that case, if human beings are careful and under some sort of system of conventions, it is possible to take part in the predation in nature and to eat meat as a result ethically. Now, I know many are going to say, well, no, because there's this, consciousness arguments, or every life is sacred, or I don't know. I want to hear it specifically. I understand that there's this idea of the animals as persons and you just can't kill them. I think that's a reason to not hunt. But in terms of hunting, I've met, like, it's easy to get a bias against the Western hunter, and I know I'll get a lot of comments. I know about those kind of hunters. But, I live in California near people that were still practicing Native American practices, and they go hunting. And I don't know, it looked pretty communal with nature, taking part in nature. It's a bit of a beyond morality kind of area at best. So I'm open to these arguments, but now my point, wrapping it up to what you said, is like, at some point either you are or are not saying that there should be like a law and people should be forced not to eat meat. Now I'm saying I can imagine that kind of thing pushing back to the point where you have to hunt your own meat. Right. So I guess I'm interested in how do you push that back even further, or if you don't, and alternately, to what degree is this something that everybody could choose for themselves? Because often it sounds like an argument that is, nobody really has a right to eat meat. Now, actual vegetarians in the world, they hardly ever think that way. They very rarely, no matter how much they look down on meat eating, do they make a big deal of there's any big deal for it. I talk to people when I meet them, and I get more vibes from vegetarians that are like, no, I'm happy that I figured out the right thing. You guys, that's your own problem. I mean, that person might think that they've gotten to a better enlightenment, but they usually interpret it, I think, pretty personally, rather than pointing a finger. And they don't think that just because they have that one moment of enlightenment that everything they have is more enlightened. So I don't see them as dictatorial in general. But when you get into talking the philosophy and all of these thoughts are revealed, of course people are going to take that as, in a negative context of, oh, you think you're better than me. I don't. I think we're all better than each other in different respects. I totally dig people trying to enlighten themselves and making choices because they think they're enlightened, and then we talk about it and find that out, and we should be able to do that in a healthy way. Vegetarianism is one of the interesting subjects in regard to its tremendous controversial nature and how far back. Like Nietzsche has a bunch to say. Well, a bunch. A significant comment or two on vegetarianism and its social implications and whatnot. Really pretty backward ones. I would not endorse. But interesting. It just shows there's this debate and how emotional it has been for so long. So. Anyway, that's my comment, and I'm curious. It's a comment on what you said, but also I guess it could be taken as just a tangent of, what about this idea? If I hunt with a bow and arrow that I make myself from natural things around there, is that ethical? Like, maybe that would be the most extreme. I could see making the hunting law all the way down to, for it to be fair, you have to go into the preserve and make the thing you're going to use to hunt with. Couldn't I do that and say that that's a natural thing? However, whatever else you have to say. I mean, I'm just an animal. I mean, what do you think when the coyote, gets a rabbit? Is that unethical? Can I take part in that because I'm an animal? That's sort of my question. And by the way, I don't want to. I don't like to hunt. I fished and hunted when I was a kid, country folk. I don't like it at all. I mean, at that point, I go vegetarian, basically.